According to data from U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 20% of small businesses fail within their first year. By the end of their 5th year, roughly 50% of small businesses have failed. And after 10 years, the survival rate drops to approximately 35%. So, if you're considering starting a business, whether it be in partnership with us at 3D Crystal or your own business in any other category, how can you ensure that after 10 years, your business is thriving and growing? In the next few minutes, I'll share my tips on how you can outperform the dismal statistic on the survival of small businesses in America. But first, be sure to click on the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you'll know every time I release a new video or decide to go live.
It's just so incredible. Gotta have it. Can't let it go. If you don't try, you'll never know.
First of all, I want to appreciate all our partners out there who are hustling and burning the midnight oil, working so hard to market and sell our unique 3D Crystal product. Some of you are running your 3D Crystal business full-time, and for others it's a side hustle running parallel with your day job. One thing is for certain, I've seen it in my own endeavors and can say this with absolute certainty. When your intentions are pure, clean, and when you're seeking to build a business with honesty and integrity that will leave the most positive of impressions with those who purchase from you, you're already well ahead of the detrimental curve against small businesses. Now, here's a fact. We've learned over the years that success in business, and in our case in the 3D laser gift business, is not based on the laser you own, how large your office is, or the composition of the material your crystal is made of. Those are all gimmicks that are pretty much pitched by factories competing for you to spend your hard-earned money on their equipment, okay? Your success in the 3D Crystal business, or in any business for that matter, is mainly based on your ability to market, sell, and establish a healthy and loyal customer base. Let me repeat this. The success of your business is driven by your ability to market, sell, and establish a healthy and loyal customer base. When I started 3D Crystal in North America, I was told there was no way we were going to survive with competition entering the market from China. Pricing was going to erode margin, and the market would gravitate to the lower cost option. This is a so-called challenge faced by many suppliers and North American factories. But you know what? I didn't blink for a second. And today, we even supply China itself. You know why? Because I understood from my days at Procter & Gamble that the market was not exclusively driven by price. If it was, P&G would fail to exist today, given that most of their goods have been knocked off by private label. Yet still, people purchase Tide, Olay, Pantene, and Crest, and many other brands that have made P&G over the last 20 years almost double their revenue, from $36 billion to $66 billion even through the recession. So with that said, here are 3 top-level ideas that I want you to focus on no matter what it is you sell to ensure you're winning, no matter how tense the competition might be. Point 1, relationship building and marketing. Spend time building a quality marketing strategy. When I say quality, I don't mean just Google or social media ad campaigns. Quality means how are you going to create interest in your service or product in an informative way to generate inbound leads and interest from potential customers. If you can master creating quality content-driven approach that educates the market around what it is you sell, you'll increase your inbound inquiry. And we all know that the inbound lead is far more closer to conversion than an outbound prospect. Let's dissect this a little further. What do I mean by educating the market around what you sell? Let me give you an example. In scenario 1, I blast the market with flyer ads, Google ads, social ads, and maybe even magazine ads, showing a 3D crystal and asking the market to purchase the most unique gift by sending us their photo. That's actually how the majority of companies out there are doing it today. Now in scenario 2, I first explain the science behind how the artist manipulates that flat photo to 3D. I then explain the science behind how the lasers penetrate a transparent material without ever harming the surface to converge at a point within, exerting enough energy or heat to establish a fracture. This repetition creates the perception of their 3D image floating inside the center of crystal. I then suggest that to have their sentimental moment brought to life for eternity, they can submit their photo to 3dcrystal.com. Which of the two scenarios would perk your interest? Remember, everyone is trying to sell you on some product or service at many points throughout the day. But to offer a story, an experience, and information that wraps content around the item that facilitates conversation is quality marketing. Point 2, gain competitive intelligence, however, do not allow the competition to distract you. You won't believe how many times competitors waste their time trolling us with fake phone calls, fake live chats, fake social media comments. It's crazy. In fact, one of the competitors tried to openly engage in conversation with us over whose company was larger, whose product was better during the last week before Christmas. We work 3 shifts, 7 days a week to meet deadlines for the high volume gifting season, and it really made me wonder how busy they really were and how successful they really are if they had time to attempt dialoguing with us during the busiest week of the year. Clearly, their focus wasn't where it should have been. And when you lose focus on your business and get distracted by your competitor, you're essentially handing victory over. I can't stress enough the importance of focusing and juicing every minute of your day to maximum effect. If your competitor operates 9 to 5 and you operate from 10 to 10, you're getting 1.5 times more done in a year than your competitor. Basically, what they take 12 months to do, you'll complete in 8 months. Essentially, you'll be 33% ahead. If you're listening to what I'm saying, I'm giving you my recipe. This is how we do it, okay? Focus and maximize the number of effective minutes in a day. Point number 3, fuel your business with reinvestments. Reinvesting in the business is, in my opinion, the greatest strategy to grow. The moment I was able to invest in building a larger laser, I did. I still use public transport to get around because I couldn't afford a car while plowing hundreds of thousands into technology. This allowed us to burn larger crystal pieces, produce more at a time, and expand our inventory and product line. Production capacity meant we could fulfill more orders for more resellers and wholesale partners. Invest in assets that have the greatest likelihood for appreciating the value of your business, not depreciating it. I'll extend this further and suggest that you spend on expenses that have the greatest opportunity of generating sales, since it's sometimes hard to separate the emotional desire of what to spend your budget on. Today, I take every dollar I can out of what I call unnecessary comfort expenses, and I use it to fuel the business to drive sales. I put it towards marketing, traditional marketing, social marketing, digital marketing, live shows, you name it. I put it towards anything that I feel will get maximum traction and get us further, faster. Do the same for your business. Identify what is the fire that drives your business. Fuel it, and mark my words, watch the results. In the end, I firmly believe that there's always an answer to every challenge. If the challenge, as stated at the beginning, is beating the odds of new business survival rates, well, then learn to play the game. Figure out the recipe, that secret code that will enable you to succeed well beyond your wildest dreams. And of course, if you feel some of my suggestions have contributed in any way, please do subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching.
Gotta have